Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Still seeing sunny conditions out there this morning with our temperatures still sitting just below freezing at this time. Overall, should see a fairly chilly but quiet weather day ahead today. We'll see a very low-end chance of maybe some light rain around the area for the early morning hours of tomorrow, but not looking very likely at this time. We'll see dry weather prevail for the most part through the extended forecast, with the next best chance of seeing any precip in the area looking to be towards the end of the weekend. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, high pressure and control over the local region, we'll see that start to recede off to the northeast, and we'll see a boundary approach in the area as we get into the day tomorrow. It looks to be a fairly dry boundary by the time it makes it into the local area, so not expecting any active weather with that. We'll be keeping an eye on a weak area of low pressure potentially going to develop off the coastline here and track northeast. That has that very slight chance, about a 10% chance of maybe funneling some moisture into the local area for the early morning hours tomorrow, possibly maybe seeing a few light sprinkles, but nothing too impactful if it was to occur. Taking a look at the upper level winds from this morning, sounding had some fairly light northeasterly winds near the surface, becoming west-northwesterly in the mid-levels and more northwesterly as we get up in the upper levels here, seeing our peak wind of 50 knots, and the freezing level this morning was at the surface. If we look at the current visible satellite, we can see those clear skies across the area, just seeing some low clouds well off the coastline along the water, and continuing to see a few high clouds that will be gradually moving through the area and increasing as we get later in the evening. We look at the European model here, zoomed out to look at the big picture again, expecting that high pressure to recede off to the northeast, and we'll start to see that boundary approaching from our northwest, and that does dry out as it moves through our area tomorrow. As you see, European model indicating that a weak area of low pressure staying off the southeastern coast. Some of the high-res models bringing that up closer, showing some radar returns, simulated radar returns over the local area, but nonetheless not expecting much impact from that outside of maybe a light sprinkle, but again about 10% chance. Then high pressure builds back in behind that front that moves through tomorrow. It's going to keep things quiet. We'll see mainly partly cloudy conditions through the remainder of the week with some mostly cloudy periods at times. Looks like a upper level low tries to track over the northeast as we go overnight Thursday into Friday. Looks like any precip that could potentially be associated with that will stay north of the Wallops area, so not expecting any significant impact from that. And then moving into the weekend, things still under the control of high pressure, looking mainly dry, and then moving towards the second half and into our second half of the weekend and into Sunday. Models are indicating a disturbance coming together and tracking towards the local region. Still some differences in timing with this European Canadian model, keeping it a bit faster, bringing it through on Sunday. GFS a little slower, not as bullish with the system, so we'll see how that evolves as we move through the week. But nonetheless, it looks like our next best chance of seeing any precip in the area. If we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, expecting green conditions over the next 24 hours. We'll see our high temperature below average today with a high around 36 degrees, but we'll see mostly sunny conditions through the daytime. And as we get into the evening, we'll start to see a few upper level clouds building into the area, as well as a few low level clouds, as we'll start to see those light winds turning more onshore and then eventually out of the south to south-southwest as we get into the morning hours of Tuesday. We'll see our low temperature right around 29 degrees this evening. And then as we move into and past the 4 a.m. time frame, that's when we'll have a chance of maybe seeing a ceiling develop around 2,000 feet with the possibility of any light sprinkles moving through the area. Again, looking at maybe about a 10 or 15% chance of that actually occurring, and it should be brief and not very impactful. Tides looking normal at this time. And as we look at the extended forecast here, we see again Tuesday partly to mostly cloudy overall as that front moves through the area. Again, just about a 15% chance of that light sprinkle. More seasonal high around 47 degrees, and as we go through the extended forecast here, we'll see our temperatures pretty seasonable, maybe a degree or two below average for this time of year, but Partly cloudy conditions overall, high temperatures in the mid to upper 40s through the remainder of the week. We'll see our low temperatures right around 30 degrees plus or minus a degree. We'll see some additional clouds on Thursday, particularly Thursday evening into early Friday, as that upper level low looks to track into the northeast, possibly bringing some additional cloudiness into the area. But things look to remain dry. And then Saturday we'll see partly cloudy to start the day. Will be a bit warmer with a high of 54 degrees. And as we go overnight into Sunday, we'll see increasing clouds with the potential of that next system moving into the area, looking at about a 30% chance of rain at this time for Sunday. Overall, mostly cloudy with that chance of rain. Another mild day with a high of 55 degrees. And again, we'll likely see some increasing confidence with that rain chance as we move through the remainder of the week and get a better feel on that next system moving through the area. But right now, things looking fairly quiet as we move through the holiday week. And that's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again on Thursday at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.